Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Kristen and I am a mom of 3. And today we are going to be talking about homeschooling with a toddler. Homeschooling with a toddler can be very, very challenging. It is a rough ride. Some days are fantastic, other days are... So homeschooling with a toddler has its own challenges within itself. Yeah, you see Mommy's tea? Some days are fantastic and other days are absolutely horrible and you just want to give up for homeschooling for the day. But since I started homeschooling about, 6 months ago, I would say in September, I've learned a couple of things that have helped us kind of transition a little bit easier. So the first thing that I've learned is try to fill up their bucket. So when we first get up, I like to spend one-on-one time with her. Oh, you see the puppy? So what I found is first thing in the morning, you need to fill up their emotional bucket. And what I mean by this is that you need to give them all the attention that they're going to require for a specific amount of time so that they don't feel left out, because you're going to be giving their siblings a lot of attention doing homeschool. So if I just jump right into homeschooling and I don't give her attention that she really requires first thing in the morning, she's going to be getting into things and seeking out that attention in negative ways. So by doing this, it could be just something just like sitting on the ground, playing with her, watching her play blocks, reading a story or two. It could just be simple things that makes it easier for her so she doesn't feel so left out when I'm sitting doing schoolwork with her siblings. Even though her siblings don't particularly enjoy doing schoolwork all the time, she sees it as them getting all the attention. So what we could do is, I like to have a sensory plate ready for them some days. So when I cook breakfast in the mornings, I will cook with them and we will have a little bit of flour, like if we do pancakes. I like to make pancakes from scratch. So we'll have a little bit of flour and I'll just put it in a bin for them, and they can end up playing in the bin of flour. So I'll give them all the tools so that they can cook, that essentially help me cook after we already did all the cooking. So another thing that I sometimes do is Orbeez, even though I swear Orbeez, it's kind of like glitter. It's not as bad as glitter, but they just end up everywhere. It drives me bonkers, okay? Orbeez end up all over my house. They like to bounce them, but Orbeez are also a really great sensory play. While I'm doing homeschool with my oldest, I can give them coloring pages, or we can do Play-Doh. I'll give them Play-Doh. You just need something for them to play with and to try to keep it somewhat quiet. Another thing that I like to do is I like to set up something. So we'll build train tracks before we do homeschool. And then in the living room or in one of their bedrooms, they'll have this awesome new train track to play with. And that can last them an hour on their own just playing with that together. Because the 2-year-old and the 4-year-old, their school, well, 2-year-old school is non-existent because at their age, they should just be playing. 4-year-old also, most of it is just playing, but I like to sit down with him and just do a couple things because I'm pretty sure he has ADHD, and I think just doing little increments through time, because he's turning 5 soon, is going to help him transition into more of a kindergarten style program that we're going to do. So I just think that a little bit with him is also beneficial. And then we also have circle time too. So what we would do to just run by what our day would be like is we would wake up and I would try to fill my 2-year-old's emotional bucket. And then we would eat breakfast. After breakfast, we would end up going and doing the 4-year-old schoolwork. So we have circle time in the morning, which it's just a name. I do it at the table, and we'll listen to a couple songs like days of the week, months of the year. We like to listen to the phonetical alphabet song. So am I saying that right? It's just like an alphabet song. A says ah kind of thing. So we like to do that first, and then we go over the day, the weather. So it's circle time at the table. And while I am doing that, my oldest tends to be doing his handwriting just to get that out of the way. And then we do specific things on specific days. So Monday we'll do language arts, Tuesday we'll do math, and we rotate between the two. I do less math because he's very, very good at math. So it just clicks and he's done with it. So we only do it 2 days a week, whereas language arts, he's really struggling with that. Letter identification and with learning his letter sounds. So for that, I'm just doing it very gently. We're just taking it slow, taking it easy, and then we're just going to keep going and progressing as kindergarten goes through. So that usually takes about 20 to 40 minutes. It's always under an hour. You should never really be doing more than an hour with a child that young. And while I'm doing all of this with my 4-year-old, I have my 2-year-old coloring pages, and she's doing letter dots. She just has her little dot paints, and she's doing dots in the letter. So she's seeing the letter. I ask her what letter it is, and we'll talk about it. But I'm not pushing it. It's just artwork. It's just things that are fun that she can feel included as well in the lesson. So for her, when she eventually homeschools, I really hope that it'll just be a very easy transition for her. Well, she'll just already be in that routine of coming in and sitting down and having her work ready for her. But I say all this like it is super simple and like it's always quiet. Right now my kids are on devices, and that is why it is so quiet right now. There are times, especially because my oldest has autism, and along that comes with ADHD and other challenges, he needs it to be so quiet for him to focus. And sometimes I can't have my kids because I live in the sticks. She's playing with our dog. Because I live in the sticks, I can't have my kids outside alone. Right now it's coyote mating season. I cannot have a 2-year-old and 4-year-old outside. We do not have a fence. And even if we did have a fence, coyotes can scale them. So we will not be having any children outside alone, even if they are within my sight, for quite some time. So we can get a little cooped up. Once the weather starts to get a little bit warmer, first thing in the morning, right away, right before breakfast, we're going to be outside. That's what we did when the weather was nice. And it makes such a difference. But I live in a climate that is very cold. So we cannot spend longer than 3 hours outside at a day, because depending on the day and how warm it is, it can be very chilly. So for the most part, we are inside. And if we do go outside, I have to be outside. And if I'm outside because my older son has all those challenges, I can't just be like, oh, hey. Mama, that is funny. I can't just be like, okay, hey, can you just do this? And I'll just be outside with the other kids. It doesn't work like that. When he was in school, he needed a teacher's aide to be with him and on him at all times to get the work done, because that's just how his brain is. That's how he works, and there's nothing wrong with it, but he needs somebody to be with him at all times while he's doing schoolwork. And it can be awfully time consuming for me. You know, he's older, so a lot of people assume that I can just give him the work and he'll do it, but that's just not how it works. So I do need to sit with him a lot, and in that case, they end up on devices for an hour or so. And it's just what we can do. We're making the best of a situation, and we're modifying and we're adapting. And I think that there's this very negative connotation when it comes to devices, and I have mixed feelings about it, because yes, I do agree that kids on devices too much, it's not good for them at all. It's not good for their development. But I have 2 boys who learn incredibly well on devices. So we do, my middle son, my 4-year-old, he does ABC Mouse a lot, and that has made a huge difference for him. So anyways, I'm getting off track. Oh my goodness. So to sum up this video, number one thing, fill up your toddler's morning emotional bucket. I said that weird, emotional bucket. Give them the attention they require. Spend time with them. Read books. Do things that are gonna make them feel loved and have that one-on-one attention that they so need. Provide sensory things. Provide crayons and paper. Let them explore and quietly play. Let them do things at the table that makes them feel involved, because no matter the age, every child wants to be involved. I hope you all enjoyed my video about how to homeschool with toddlers. It is not easy. It is messy. It requires a lot of your time, but it is an amazing, amazing blessing for me to be able to be home with my kids, for me to be able to homeschool my kids. I have really found that it is just the biggest blessing of recent times, especially because of COVID. It's one of the silver linings of COVID that for my family is that I finally went and pulled the trigger and decided that I'm gonna homeschool my kids, and this has been the greatest, most frustrating and time-consuming journey I have ever had, but I absolutely love and enjoy it so much. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. I know, everybody says that, but please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 living in the sticks. Have a good day, everybody. Yeah, woof woof puppy. It's not a book, it's a card.
Oh, happy. To you?
Yes, it's a birthday card. It was from your great Nana. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Eva. Happy birthday to you.